Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It has been a hot minute since I have done a voiceover makeup tutorial, so here we go. This one was highly requested, and so we're gonna do some makeup that is great for more mature skin. Some wonderful tips that will help you guys if you have fine lines, wrinkles, dark spots, that sort of thing. I know I'm not the perfect candidate to show you this, but still yet, you guys, these are great tips, I promise. So the first thing I'm going to do is go in with two primers. I'm going to use our CC Brightening Primer, which is great for brightening your skin. More mature skin tends to be dry and very dull looking, and this helps bring life back to it and get it hydrated and ready to go for other makeup products, as well as the VFX Pore Filling Primer that helps fill in your pores and fine lines and wrinkles so that you have a nice smooth canvas to work with. Then I'm going in with our sponge and using the BB cream in light to medium. A BB or CC cream is what I definitely recommend for more mature skin. It keeps your skin very hydrated. It's lightweight, but yet you still get a great amount of coverage. And it's buildable, so if you need more coverage, you absolutely can build upon it, and it doesn't make you look too cakey. The sponge I recommend because it will help spread the product smoothly without causing any type of disruption to the texture of your skin or causing certain product to build up into wrinkles and fine lines. So a very hydrating foundation and a sponge is what I recommend, but you absolutely could still use a brush. And now we're going in with the full coverage liquid concealer. I'm using shade 01. I always recommend using a concealer that's a shade or two lighter than your foundation. That way it will help brighten and give you more of a natural highlight. I'm also not using a ton of concealer. I'm just doing it more on the corners of my eyes and down the center of my face just to help brighten. If you have discoloration or if you have blemishes, you can absolutely go in with a concealer that is more of your skin tone shade to help get more coverage for those areas. And now I'm going in with our face sculpting palette, and I'm going to use this light shade to set my under eyes and my eyelids. I like this shade because it comes off more transparent, so you don't add any extra color to this area, but it gives you a little bit more coverage while also keeping your concealer and foundation from getting into your pores. And then I'm going to go in with our BB powder in shade number 2 to set the rest of my face. And y'all, this powder is so good. It's so lightweight. So if you are not a powder person, I promise that once you try these powders, they are so good. I forgot how much I love them. Super lightweight, but they give you a lot of extra coverage, and these are great for more mature skin so that you don't have a lot of cakiness or product that builds up in your fine lines and wrinkles. So highly recommend this powder. Next, I'm going in with our Peach Bite face palette. Y'all, this is one of my favorite palettes. Y'all probably see me use it all the time. I'm using this bronzer just to bronzen up the cheekbones, around my hairline, my jawline, my nose. Most people, I always recommend a cool toned bronzer because it gives you more of a natural shadow. a natural contour to your face. Of course you can use warm. I will go back and forth, but for more mature skin, I highly recommend a cool toned bronzer. That way it just looks natural. It doesn't even look like you did anything. And this is one of my favorite bronzers I've ever used from this Peach Bite palette. And I'm just going to use this peachy blush that's also in the Peach Bite palette. You can use any shade of blush that you want. I do recommend a more nude, peachy, warmer toned, something that's a little bit more natural. But of course, you can wear whatever shade of blush you want. Just make sure not to go too heavy. Try to keep more on the higher end of your cheekbone so it looks more natural. And then I'm going in with the highlight from the same palette, and you just want to highlight the high points of your face. Anything that you want to actually bring forward and to bring notice to, that's what you want to highlight. You don't want to do like directly under your eyes or anything like that, because if you have any type of fine lines or wrinkles, then it's just going to show it. So tops of the cheekbones, maybe the tops of the brow, maybe the center of the nose, those areas. Now I'm going in with our Vice Brown eyeshadow trio, and I'm using the dark brown shade to fill in my eyebrows with one of our angled brushes. And as far as filling in your brows, I highly recommend just doing a natural brow, nothing too crazy. Make sure that you choose a shade of eyeshadow or brow product that is very close to your natural. Again, this is something that works for me in my brow shade, but we have other eyeshadow palettes that you could absolutely use for brow products. And of course we have brow products too. We have brow pencils in blonde, brow mascara. A lot of my customers enjoy the brow mascara because it's super easy and it does give you a natural brow without looking too filled in. But this is just a trick that I love with all our products. I feel like I can go through and just use them for multiple purposes. So this is one of my favorites, and this is one of my favorite eyeshadow trios that we have. Now I'm going back in with the Vice Brown trio, and I'm just using that terracotta shade and a fluffy blending brush, and I'm just going to put that right in my crease and build up the pigment as I want to. You'll see I just keep adding more and more until I get to the right pigmentation. I do recommend eyeshadows for more mature skin, or if you generally have wrinkly eyelids like I do, I recommend using matte eyeshadows. Now, of course, you can use shimmer if you would like. I do too all the time. I prefer to keep the matte shades in my crease and above my brow bone, just because that is what you immediately see right away. And if you put shimmer there, it's gonna show off any type of wrinkles or fine lines that you may have. And then I will just focus more on keeping shimmer on the lid. That way it doesn't take away too much from the look, but also doesn't accentuate your fine lines and wrinkles, if that makes sense. Now I'm going back in with the darker shade, and I'm using a more dense fluffy brush right on that outer V of the eyelid just to give some definition. I'm taking it into the crease a little bit and onto the little bit just to break it up, give it some definition. Of course, this is a matte shade, so this is great for hiding any type of texture to your eyelids. And last but not least, I'm going to take the shimmery shade in the palette and just put that right over that inner part of the lid. This one doesn't have too much shimmer, so it's not too bad, as you can see. But it does, those three colors are amazing together. It gives a great neutral eye. There's so many different variations you could do with this little palette, and I just love it. Now I'm taking that darker brown shade and I'm just putting that right under the outer corner of my lower lid. Again, just to give it some definition, and blend it to the top. And here I'm taking that terracotta shade and I'm just blending it along the rest of the lower lash line, just to bring it all together so it all makes sense with the top. Now I'm going in with our Express waterproof eyeliner pencil in brown. Y'all, these are some of the best eye pencils I have ever used. They are so good. I honestly don't use them that much on myself, but I use them a lot on my makeup clients in the salon. They glide on like butter, I am telling you. And all I'm doing here is I'm just smudging it, well, kind of just haphazardly placing it on my lid like eyeliner. And then I'm going to take an angled eyeliner brush and just kind of smudge it out. But you do have to, if you're going to do something like this, you have to work very quickly because they are waterproof. They dry down and they do not come off, you guys. It's so good. This one and the black one are my favorite. I also recommend doing eyeliner pencils like this more so than liquid when it comes to mature skin, because when there's texture on the eyelids, it makes it really difficult to get a straight, perfect line with like a liquid. Whereas when you do something like this and you smudge it out, you can still get a great look, but it not show off the texture of your skin so much. And it also looks way more natural. So I'm just doing the same thing on the lower lash line as well. As far as mascara, you can use whichever mascara you prefer. I'm using our Extreme Curl. This is one of my favorites, y'all. Honestly, all our mascaras are great. It just depends on what look you're going for or what you need. I have weird top lashes and very long lower lashes, but it just depends. The Extreme Curl is great, especially if you're going to use an eyelash curler. This mascara is wonderful, and it's also very, very black, so it is one of my faves. Now I'm going in with our lip liner pencil in 201. And I am normally not a lip liner person because I prefer our matte liquid lipstick formula, and I don't really need a lip liner for those, in my opinion. But anytime I'm going to use a regular creamy lipstick, I love using lip liners, and this one worked perfectly for the lipstick that I'm going to use. And all I'm doing is just lining my lips where I want them to go. I do overline a little bit. I didn't mean to, but you absolutely can. And I'm just filling them in just a little bit with this pencil. And I totally forgot to show you guys, but this is our True Color lipstick in the shade 21, or Plush Blush. And I thought it went perfect with this lip liner, and this lipstick formula is super, super creamy. I definitely recommend more of a creamy lipstick or a gloss rather than a matte when it comes to mature skin. If your lips tend to have a lot of texture, if they're more dry, a lot of wrinkles, that sort of thing, I have to change it up sometimes and not use the matte because my lips get so chapped. So definitely a hydrating lip product. Last but not least, I'm using our Time Locker setting spray to set my makeup so it lasts all day, and it gets rid of any excess powder so it doesn't fill in my fine lines and wrinkles. And this is the finished look, you guys. Let me know what you think.